Hi everyone, this is a guide on how to update or install games on Steam if you're having consistent download issues. So if you go to download a game and it gets to a certain percentage and you get a random reoccurring error like this and it just happens over and over, then this is the guide for you. So without further ado, let's hop into it. First thing you're going to want to do is close Steam. Second thing you're going to want to do is go on the internet and download a copy of SteamCMD. That will be on valvesoftware.com. It should come in a zip file if you have Windows, and go ahead and download that, extract it to a folder that is not the Steam folder. It will conflict with the Steam executable if you do, so I put it in a little folder just called SteamCMD, and I'll refer to that folder as such for the sake of the video. These two items right here I made, and this is to help me with the tutorial as the video goes on, but for the time being, just worry about this one executable because this is what you'll get in that zip file. So if you open it, you should see an install begin, and the folder will begin to populate, and most likely it will crash. I had one commenter say it did not crash, but I'm expecting a crash here. I'm also not expecting a slow download, but we're getting one. So there we go, now we're speeding up. Anyway, if it does crash, then what you'll do is go to the path address bar, I don't know what to call this thing, and simply just type in CMD. This is for command prompt. You can use PowerShell as well if you like the blue color. But you will type in the name of the executable, which is SteamCMD. You do that, it's going to yell at you again and say your OS is too old, but it gives you a command to use, so we'll use that this time. SteamCMD space hyphen override min OS. And I showed you the execution without the exception or whatever it's called, without the hyphen, just to show you that that's not anything fancy that I made up. That's what Valve wants you to do. So anyway, everything says okay. I'm interfacing with Steam. To be clear, this is essentially a console version of Steam, and this folder that you made is a stripped down version of your Steam folder. They are not the same though, so for instance, if you go into any of these folders, you're not going to find the exact same thing as you do in your normal Steam folder. So if I go in there, you know, there's all this stuff. Here's a Steam apps folder, right? This doesn't have it yet, but it will, but it won't have the same stuff as it does in Steam. So these are two distinct folders, but they both work essentially the same, if that makes sense. So just treat them like two different things for now. So anyway, so the first thing that you need to do is clarify where the download is going to go, and this goes for installing or updating. In this case, I'm going to give you an example of an update, and then we'll do an install after. And there is a difference on what you do, so just pay attention specifically if you want to do one or the other. So first, we're going to do an update. Second, we'll do an install, and then third, I'll show you how to automate some of this stuff. But this is an update. So let's just say we want to update Team Fortress 2. So what I will do is type in the command force underscore install underscore dir, not install, space, quote, and then we need to direct this to the Team Fortress 2 folder. So that would be in my Steam folder, in common, and then I guess I typed the S first, in Team Fortress 2. So we'll copy this. This is where it's located. Come back over to command prompt, paste that in, end quote, and then press enter. So there's no confirmation here. You can see something shifted in the SteamCMD folder, but essentially there's no way to really know what's happening. I think this little Steam apps folder gets created if you do change the install directory, so maybe that's your indicator, but nothing inside of the command prompt window says success. So just do it right and go from there. So whatever game you want to update, obviously go to that folder, not Team Fortress 2. This is just an example. So what we'll do next is log in, and you will put your Steam username here. Sorry, no government joke this time. And it's going to ask for a password. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. Give me a second. All right, so it didn't look like I typed it, but I did. It's going to look the same for you because it just kind of censors it. I don't know. It's probably a security thing in case someone's looking over at your shoulder at McDonald's or something. But anyway, I have to authorize this connection now through my phone because I have 2FA set up. If you don't have it set up, then it probably won't ask for this. I've never tried it without it, but it shouldn't. And I said, okay, so now it's happy. And I am now logged in on Steam. So I can't launch any games or anything like that, but I can download stuff. So we're going to do that now. So in this case, in order to update Team Fortress, you need to know the app ID, and Team Fortress is 440. And if you don't know how to find that, you can go to the Steam store page and it'll be in the URL. There will be a number. Or you can go to SteamDB, type the name of the game in, and then it'll give you an ID number as well. So whatever is more convenient for you. So yes, when you change the directory to the game folder, it is going to make a Steam Apps folder on its own, and it's going to be empty. So with the Steam App ID that you have just acquired, what you'll need to do first is go to your Steam Apps folder and find the manifest file for that game. So in this case, Team Fortress is 440. You're going to want to copy that, go back to the folder, and paste the manifest file in the Steam Apps folder. That way when you go to update, SteamCMD reads this, because it's not going to read this. It's going to read this. It needs to read this to know what the most recent update was, otherwise it's going to try to install the whole game. I think. I forget. But I know you do need to do this the first time that you go to update a game via SteamCMD. After that, if you go to update Team Fortress again or whatever game, you don't need to copy the manifest from the Steam Apps folder. At that point, this will be the current version after you update. All right, back to the video. But anyway, I know it's 440, so we're going to type app_update space 440. Press enter. And you can see a download is beginning. It says reconfiguring, but anyway, it was only a 100 megabyte update, so if you match the numbers to this is probably around 100 megabytes. This is just the progress. This is the percentage of progress. I forget how big Team Fortress is now. I think it's 7 gigs or something. I don't know. I might be wrong, but you want to be sure if you're updating a game that this download doesn't take a super long time, because if it does, meaning like it's a huge file install, you probably did something wrong. I've done that on accident before where I install it to the wrong spot and it's essentially installing a copy of the game in a different folder. So let's just say it's a 5 megabyte update. This should be over really quickly unless you have bad connection. But in this case, this is pretty fast. You can see like the jump between 4 and 18% is really quick. So I am confident that I did this right. I don't know why it's verifying. I've had kind of weird connection today, so maybe this is just taking a little bit longer than usual because of that, but normally it's not this slow. Anyway, so nothing should change in the folder, meaning you can see that my Win64 executable is the same date, right? It's not going to overwrite anything. If you're worried, you should back up your folder, but realistically, you shouldn't have to. It's only things that are being affected actively by the update should change. So like the common redistributable folder here, you can see it's still 2017. So anyway, it says all done, so that's good. And we're just gonna click the X for right now. We're done updating that. It's a whole convoluted process to update another game doing that way, so I just did one just to show you, and I'll show you how to automate that later. But anyway, so in this folder now, where the install just, or sorry, the update just occurred, there is a Steam apps folder, and you can see that just a little bit ago it was updated or modified. So in this case, I was given 2 of these, which I'll explain in just a sec, but really we only want 440. So what you do is you take this ACF file, this is the game manifest, or it's called something else, but I'm just going to call it that. And normally that installs in the Steam apps folder right here. As you can see, here's 440. But it's not going to install there, if that makes sense. So what you have to do is copy this and then paste it into the Steam apps folder yourself. I believe in my written guide I said to leave the ACF in here because when you go to update the game again, Steam's going to read this because it's not reading in here. You didn't change the directory to here. It doesn't know. So it's going to read this. So I would leave this alone. It kind of bothers me because it's not supposed to be here, but that's just how things are going right now. So anyway, that should be all happy and good now. So the other thing though that installed this is Steamworks Common Redistributables, which is in here, which I thought I fixed. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. But anyway, we're just going to minimize everything and launch Steam. See what happens. Hopefully not see that there's a necessary update for that. That would make me sad. But we'll see. So anyway, here we are, and Team Fortress 2 is now gone. And if I go launch the game, somewhere in here, right? It should launch, simply. To show you it works. Okay, ignore that, sorry, my bad. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna work. Go ahead and just crash this, because we're not gonna play Team Fortress. So, anyway, that's how you download a game. Or sorry, I apologize. Download an update for a game. I told you it was going to not be polished. But anyway, so let me show you how to install a game now. So there's a really small game. How about that? I made a game with zombies in it. Not me, the guy that made it. And it is currently not installed, but we want to play it. So let's go ahead and get it. Now it is a little bit of a different process, and I'll show you how that works this time. So same ordeal, you go into your SteamCMD folder, type CMD, SteamCMD space -override -min-os. Very good, we're in. Okay, so this time, since we are installing a game, we are going to avoid changing the install directory, because think about it, if you go to your Steam folder, what are you going to be looking for? The folder doesn't exist yet. There's no need to put anything in there. What you'll do is install it to your SteamCMD folder and yank it out of here and then go put it where it belongs. So I'll show you how to do that. So anywho, in this case, we want to log in. And if you press space again and start typing your password, it will skip the password input, but the folder should have logged my credentials. So if I just type the username, it should log me in without any struggle. Yeah, see, so I don't need the password. I just need to say, hey, it's me again. And it remembers because there's a file in one of these folders in the SteamCMD folder that says it's you. So after you log in once. Okay, so I'm logged in. So to install a game, you simply type app update again. And then the ID for this, let's see, is in my ID list. It is this number right here, 1-800 something. Don't call that. Press enter. And it is installing. Really small file here. But yeah, there's something going on with my internet today. I don't know what's up. This should already be done, but bear with me. Hard download, dang. Kind of laughing at myself. What's going on here, man? Anyway, so now that it's done, you will go to your Steam apps folder in the SteamCMD folder, and you should see that there is a new folder that got created. In this case, it's common. It might say something different, so if you installed a source mod, it might say source mods or something. It just kind of depends on the game. But anyway, you'll go into here and you'll look around and you'll see, okay, here's I Made a Game with Zombies in it. Everything's in there, and I could actually click it and play it. I don't need Steam to do this, but I imagine you guys want to launch it from Steam. So the way this will work now is you go to your Steam folder and you just trace the same path essentially. So Steam apps, common, and if I type there's no I Made a Game with Zombies in it, right? But drag it in here, now there is. All right, very cool. So don't forget, you need to place the app manifest in the Steam apps folder as well, because you just installed it. And I believe, no, I didn't have a copy of that in there. Okay, so I would not copy library folders.vdf. I believe that dictates where stuff is. Could be wrong on that, I don't know. But I'd leave that alone. Historically, I've done it and it's been fine. So let's go ahead and get out of this again. Be sure to, I didn't say this, but before you open the Steam client, close the command prompt thing. Oh, wait a sec, I left this open. Oops, probably why I was going so slow. Okay, I'm gonna relaunch Steam here. Let's see if this works. I've actually never tested this, but you're gonna wanna close it. If you're using one, close the other is what I was trying to say. So let's see what happens. It should be fine. I've had both open before, and down here it usually just says no current session or something. But there it is. I Made a Game with Zombies in it. It's now installed. See, it turned white, so I can play it instead of install it. So that worked out. Okay, so that's how you do it. Sorry about the unprofessionalism here. I kind of just wanted to get it done and not do a million takes this time. So sorry about that if anyone's offended by that, but hopefully this helps you. That's the bare bones, simplest, easy way to do it in terms of, I just want to get this game running as fast as possible and I don't care about anything else. That's how you do it. Now, if you want to continue to update games, right? So let's just say you're playing a relatively new game, or a game you're playing gets updates, you know, every week or something like that. You don't want to go through that whole process of typing in override minOS, blah, 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 change directory. Like, that's annoying, right? You don't want to copy and paste all the time. So there are scripts that SteamCMD understands, and then there are scripts you can write for Windows that also automate scripts in SteamCMD. So it gets pretty fancy. So let me show you how to do that now. Alright gamers, sorry about that. I had to make a cut because the instructions I was giving were a little bit goofy and out of order. So I'm going to do it right this time for your convenience. So this is strictly for automating updates. You don't need to automate installations because you only do that once. So just if you want to automate an update, this is how to do it. Just click and drag for installs. Okay, so anyway, I made a folder called scripts. You don't have to do this. I'll talk about why I did it. And we're going to do it for my winter car because I already had it made. So in this folder, I have a shortcut just for my own convenience, so I can access this folder easily so I can check what changed. I have a text document that has information that will be interpreted by SteamCMD. And then I have a batch file, which, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially an exe, but it has instructions in it that run SteamCMD and then do other things for me. So we'll talk about that. Excuse me. But for right now, what we're going to want to do is do baby steps. So at the very end, if you want to see how all of this works and you want to try to just copy exactly what I have, but make it fit what you're doing, you're welcome to do that. But I think it would be better to understand how I'm doing this so that you can better apply it to your specific circumstance, because where this folder is not where yours is. Where this is might not be where you want it to be. Where this is and what it does might not be what you want it to do, you know. So I should explain some things, that way you don't have trouble, and that will make you happy, hopefully. So let's just go baby steps. But if you want to skip to the end, feel free to make like a copy of this, right? Take a picture of that and just try to make it work for yourself. And then this as well. And then if you're going to do that, please put it in a different folder. Don't have it all sitting in the same folder as the exe, because of reasons. And I'll explain those later, but just, you're going to have to trust me on that if you want to be hasty. Okay, let's stop screwing around. I'm going to give you an example now. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a text document, and we're going to name it demo. And in it, we're going to have it, let's just have it log me in. How about that? So what I'm going to do is type in the information here that I want the program to use, and just simply log me in, no password. You can put your password here, but you actually don't need to, as long as those credentials are in that folder I was talking about earlier. So log it in. There we go. That's me. Okay. I thought I saved, but okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is go into command prompt, and we're going to type in SteamCMD. I'm going to override min.os, because you still have to do that. And then this time you're going to put a space and put a plus and type run script, and then space demo.txt. And yes, you have to put the txt. So after min.os, run script, space demo.txt, or whatever it is that you named it. And this is assuming that it's in the same folder as the SteamCMD executable, right? So boots as normal, and as you can see, it just logged me straight in. So that's how the run script works. We can make it do more than that. And in this case, what we're going to have to do is make a script for every game that we wish to update, which is really annoying, honestly. I think this system broke and it used to work differently, but right now the way it's working is you force install directory to the game folder, each specific game folder, not just your Steam folder, and then you have to do all the installs there. So there's no general log me in and update type thing. It's direct here, log me in, update it, close, and then go launch your next script. Log me in, do the blah, blah, blah. So kind of annoying, but I'll show you how to do it. So what we can do as well to make this a little bit easier is create a batch now. So this is that thing that talks to Windows. So this is, let's just call it auto override .bat. So you make it as a text file and you save it as a bat. Yes. Okay. So you right click it, go to edit. So now I believe this will automatically run command prompt right from the get-go. So you don't need to type CMD or anything. The bat just launches command prompt. So what we'll have this do is launch SteamCMD, right? And we will have it override min.os, and then we will have it run script demo.txt, right? So when I launch this now in this folder, it's gonna launch this, add this, right? So, wait, I don't need quotes around that, I don't think, because there's no spacing. But if you have spaces, add quotes. Okay, so let's launch this. All right, there we go. It was that easy. 2 clicks, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So, using SteamCMD's run script and then using Windows batch file, you can make things go really fast. And the bat, I would say, is probably way more powerful than run script. and you'll see why in just a minute. So anyway, this may or may not be true, but I think you guys should know it. If you have a batch file in the same folder as everything you're doing stuff for, maybe that's the wrong way to put it. And maybe, hold on, let me back up, sorry. If you have run script or your batch file in the same folder as SteamCMD, I don't know which one. I'm not that tech savvy, I'm sorry. When you type exit or quit at the very end, which you'll see I have set up in the My Winter Car script, it will hang, like it'll sit here and not close. So what I would recommend doing, not just for that, but for your own cleanliness, as to not crowd up your SteamCMD folder with a bunch of different scripts that you can't find, I would recommend that you make a scripts folder and then just have different folders in here that you categorize by game, right? So in this case, here's My Winter Car, right? So we're gonna get into this now. This is how to really do everything all at once, to where you don't need to drag and drop anything. So you can delete these if you were doing it with me. Like, you don't need those anymore. So say your thanks and be done with it. All right, sorry. Anyway, here's what you do. So in order to further automate this system, what you're going to do is create a batch file, and this time what you need to do in order to launch SteamCMD, the executable, is change the directory. So when the batch file launches, it opens out of SteamCMD scripts MWC. So we need to change that to just be SteamCMD, right? And this right here is my desktop, or sorry, this is where SteamCMD is. It's on my desktop, it's sitting right here. So it goes CD for change directory, space, quotes if you need it, just use it if you don't know. And then C drive, user, me, desktop, SteamCMD. So that gets me to here. So now it knows to look in here before it does its next thing, because if you don't, it's going to be trying to look for SteamCMD.exe in the wrong folder. So anyway, that's your first line, right? So you need to change to where SteamCMD sits, wherever that is for you. After that, SteamCMD.exe, override MinOS, run script. Now the script, you have to define where the script is now. So since you moved folders, you have to tell it to go look, not change directory, just go look back in the original folder. So in this case, this is the real folder. I made a save in a place I wasn't supposed to. All right, whatever, that's okay. Let me change that for the sake of the video. There we go, that's much better, okay. Okay, so basically in here, what this does is it runs the script in this location, right? So users, desktop, SteamCMD, scripts, MWC, and then I have a script here called MWC_skr for script .txt. So I include that in the quote, and then it will run that, right? So the next thing that will do is then look in here and say, oh, what does this tell me to do? And I'll talk about that in a sec, right? Well, actually, I guess I should talk about that now. So at this point, you'll want to have your script prepared, and I'll just show you what this script is. So first thing it does is it force install directory, changes directory to the correct folder in the Steam folder, right? This is where the game actually sits. So it says, go here. I log in as me, because you have to do this after the forced install directory. I have it update the game, that's the game ID, and then I have it quit. And I have it quit because I don't want to have to come in later and click close on command prompt, right? So I have it quit. And that's where the weird thing about it being in a different folder works. If it's all sitting in the same folder, it won't quit. I don't know why. Maybe it's a me problem. But anyway, so that runs, right? This is the plus run script thing within SteamCMD. It runs this. This is now finished. So it does that. It's happy. And then after that's all done, it will copy the ACF file. So what happens is you use the command copy, and then you put a path. And in the path, you have to have the file you want to copy. So in this case, it goes into the Steam folder, Steam Apps Common, WMC. Oh, wait, you know the abbreviation, I goofed it up. Steam Apps, app manifest number .acf, right? So this is the file that it's going to copy, all in quotes, because I have a space here in my winter car, right, and program files. But so copy, location, and file right here, end quote, right? It's got to be in quotes, space, new quotes. This is where you want that to go. So to clear it up, it's copy, file, and location to new location. So the new location that I want to go to is simply the Steam Apps folder where all the other ACF files sit. So that goes in quotes too. So it's pretty simple if you think about it. Just copy this to there. That's all that does. And then I have it exit as well. So I'm going to show you how that works now. This is already all set up for me. And remember to clarify, like, this all has to work wherever you have your files, right? Because not everyone's me, thank goodness. And not everyone has Steam in the same place. Not everyone has SteamCMD in the same place. So you need to know where this stuff is, and then how to set this up to make it run correctly. And really, I mean, the commands are all the same. It's just the paths that are going to be different. So let me show you how this works. So I simply come here and click on mwc.bat, right? So you can see it's ripping right now. I'm already, like, it's been, what, under 5 seconds and the game's updating already? We got great speeds. So let's see. This hasn't updated, or no, it has. It does this first. That's right. Okay, so did it already copy 416? No, not yet. Okay, so you'll see when this is done that this number will change. So it says progress complete 100. It's just verifying now. And then you'll see that this time will change when this closes. All right, there we go. See, 211, perfect. Okay, so now if I go to open Steam again, and mind you, all the command prompt stuff closed automatically because I used the quit or exit or whatever it was, I forget. I think quit and exit are different technically, but anyway, why is this here? I have it here. I made that for that reason. I don't know why I went into the start menu, but anyway, so if we launch Steam, we will see that my winter car has been updated now. Perfect. And if you really care that much, I guess we should go in here. You can see the change log has been updated, right? 3:15, and it says right here, here's 3:13. This was 2 days ago. I hadn't updated this in, I don't know, like over a month, right? I need to read that too. So that's how you update it. You go to launch it, it's going to play. You're on the new version now, and that works with any game. So you can really make it fast. The unfortunate thing is, every game that you want to automate like that, you have to do again, right? So let's just say I wanted Team Fortress 2 to be that way. For my own sake, I would make a TF2 folder in here. I'd go in there. I'd have a tf2.bat, a tf2scr.txt, and maybe a shortcut. I don't know. I have this here really just to verify, like, no dates changed. You don't need it, right? So then TF2, right? It would be change to SteamCMD, run it, run the tf2scr.txt, copy the tf2 ACF to Steam apps, so 440.acf, and then exit, right? And then in my tf2 _scr, it would be change install to tf2, login, update 440, quit, right? So you have to do that for every game that you want that to happen with. And then you have to have the batch script or come in and click the batch script. Now, actually what you could do, and I haven't thought about this because I only have one game, is make like a master batch and just have the master batch say like, run this batch, run this batch, run this batch, run this batch, and like just do it like that, crank them out. But I don't have the patience. No, I don't have that many that I want to update. So you'd have to go do that if you want to further automate it, right? And you should know how to do that now. You're a master with batch scripts, so you should know how at this point to make that master. I'm not going to go into trying to make it because I'd have to figure it out, and I'm not smart enough. But yeah, it'd be like that. So anyway, gamers, that's how you update or install a game and then automate it on Steam if this stuff happens. So if obviously the demo would work with these, I just haven't done it. That's it. So happy gaming. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know if you have any trouble. There might be specific questions I can't answer, but I'll try my best to direct you guys if you have any questions. And then, excuse me, let me know if it works on an operating system that is not Windows 7. I'm using 7. I think it works on 8, or someone said 8.1 they used it on. I forget. That might not be true. I might be misremembering. But let's just say you did this on Mac. Because this, you can download SteamCMD for Mac. I imagine, though, that the batch script doesn't exist on Mac. So whatever auto thing on Mac is, you have to make it work like that. I'm sure change directory doesn't work the same way on Mac. Like SteamCMD is going to work the same on pretty much every operating system, and there are instructions on the download page for this program if you are having trouble with that too. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is if you follow the instructions and you get it working, right, and it works on a different operating system, let me know, just because I'm curious how far it goes, and I can update the title or put it in the description, you know, like for Windows 7. I can put for Windows 7 /8.1 /OS X, whatever. No. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry again that this is more casual than professional. It's just easier to belt it all out rather than record a million takes. So sorry for being goofy. Hope it works. Happy gaming. Good luck. Be good. Stay safe. Tell someone you love them. That's it. All right. See you later.